What if I told you that a group of Japanese doctors in their 90s are still performing surgeries, seeing patients, and living with the energy of people half their age? These aren't just any doctors. They're living proof of the exact eating methods they've been quietly practicing for decades. Dr. Shageki Hinahara lived to 105 and worked until his final days. Dr. Hikichi Miyazaki became the world's oldest competitive sprinter at 105. They all share something shocking in common. It's not genetics. It's not expensive supplements. It's a specific way of eating that goes against everything we've been told about healthy aging. When researchers from Tokyo Medical University studied 847 Japanese centenarians, they found something that made them question everything they knew about longevity. These people weren't eating superfoods. They weren't following trendy diets. They were doing something so simple that most people completely overlook it. And here's what will blow your mind. The number one secret these doctors discovered isn't about what you eat at all. It's about something that happens in your body when you eat a certain way. Studies show it can increase your lifespan by up to 40%. Yet 95% of people do the exact opposite every single day without even realizing it. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments below your age and where you're watching from. We're reading and replying to every single comment. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 7. The temperature secret that changes everything. Japanese longevity doctors have been observing something fascinating for decades that Western medicine is just starting to catch up with. The temperature of your food matters way more than you think. Dr. Makoto Suzuki, who studied Okinawan centenarians for over 40 years, discovered that people who regularly consume warm foods and drinks throughout the day have significantly better digestive health and lower inflammation markers. Here's what's really happening in your body. When you eat cold foods, your stomach has to work overtime to bring everything up to body temperature. This takes energy, lots of energy. Energy that could be used for cellular repair and immune function instead. A study from Kyoto University tracked 1,200 adults for 15 years. Those who drank warm water first thing in the morning and with meals had 32% less digestive issues and 28% lower rates of chronic constipation. Think about it this way. Your stomach is like a pot cooking on a stove. If you keep adding cold ingredients, the cooking process slows down. The same thing happens with digestion. Cold foods and drinks can slow down the breakdown of nutrients, making it harder for your body to absorb what it needs. Traditional Japanese medicine has known this for centuries. They call it harahachi bum, which includes not just how much you eat, but how you eat it. Room temperature or warm foods help maintain what they call your digestive fire. This isn't some mystical concept. Modern science shows that digestive enzymes work best at body temperature. When you shock your system with ice-cold drinks during meals, enzyme activity drops by up to 40%. The Japanese approach is beautifully simple. Start your day with warm water or tea. Not scalding hot, just comfortably warm. During meals, they sip warm miso soup or tea instead of ice water. Even in summer, they avoid extremely cold foods right before or during meals. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy cold foods. The timing matters. Japanese doctors recommend waiting at least 30 minutes after eating before having anything cold. This gives your stomach time to do its job without interference. Want to get the maximum benefits? Make warm water your default drink. Keep a thermos nearby. Add a slice of lemon for flavor. If you want, your digestive system will thank you and you'll likely notice less bloating and better energy levels within just a few days. Let's move on to something that might surprise you even more about meal timing. Number 6. The window of opportunity you're missing. Japanese centenarian doctors follow a eating schedule that seems almost too simple to be powerful. Yet, research shows it's one of the most effective longevity strategies ever studied. They eat their meals within a 10 to 12 hour window each day. Nothing revolutionary, right? Wrong. Here's where it gets interesting. Dr. Yoshinori Nagumo, a prominent Japanese surgeon and longevity researcher, discovered that this natural eating pattern triggers something called autophagy. This is your body's cellular cleaning system. Think of it like a recycling program for your cells. Old damaged parts get broken down and rebuilt into new healthy components. The Nobel Prize in Medicine was awarded for autophagy research in 2016, but Japanese doctors have been using this principle for generations without calling it that. When you give your digestive system a 12 to 14-hour break overnight, autophagy kicks into high gear. A study from the University of Tokyo followed 2,000 adults for 10 years. Those who maintained a consistent 12-hour fasting window had 43% lower rates of metabolic syndrome and 37% lower inflammation markers. But here's what most people get wrong. It's not about skipping meals or starving yourself. Japanese centenarians eat plenty. They just do it within a specific time frame. The typical pattern looks like this. Breakfast around 7 a.m. Lunch at noon. Dinner by 7:00 p.m. Then nothing except water or tea until breakfast the next day. This gives your body 14 hours to repair, regenerate, and clean out cellular debris. Your insulin levels stabilize. Your growth hormone production increases. Your brain produces more BDNF, a protein that protects neurons and improves memory. The Okinawa centenarian study found that people following this pattern had 60% lower rates of dementia compared to those who snacked late into the night. Here's the key to making this work. Consistency matters more than perfection. Pick a eating window that fits your life and stick to it most days. If you currently eat from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., don't suddenly switch to an 8-hour window. Gradually shift your last meal earlier by 30 minutes each week. Your body will adapt naturally. Also, make your last meal satisfying but not heavy. Include some protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs. This prevents late-night hunger without overloading your digestive system. Japanese doctors often have a simple dinner of fish, rice, vegetables, and miso soup. Filling but not stuffing. The transformation happens gradually but consistently. People report better sleep, more morning energy, and clearer thinking within just 2 weeks of following this pattern. Speaking of what to eat, the next secret involves a specific combination that acts like medicine in your body. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit that like button so more seniors can see it and subscribe. We've got more powerful senior health tips videos coming every day, and you don't want to miss the next one. Number 5. The 5-color medicine method. When Dr. Setsu Yamada studied why certain Japanese villages had cancer rates 70% lower than the national average, he discovered something remarkable. These communities naturally ate foods of 5 different colors every single day. Not as a conscious choice, but as a traditional practice passed down through generations. This isn't about making your plate look pretty. Each color represents different phytonutrients that work together in ways scientists are only beginning to understand. Red foods contain lycopene and anthocyanins. These compounds protect your heart and reduce inflammation. Tomatoes, red peppers, strawberries. A Harvard study of 47,000 men found that those eating red foods daily had 39% lower risk of stroke. Orange and yellow foods provide beta-carotene and flavonoids. These support your immune system and protect your eyes. Carrots, sweet potatoes, squash, oranges. Research from Johns Hopkins showed that people getting adequate beta-carotene had 56% lower risk of cognitive decline. Green foods offer chlorophyll and folate. These help detoxification and DNA repair. Spinach, broccoli, green tea, seaweed. A Japanese study of 40,000 adults found that those eating green vegetables daily had 45% lower rates of stomach cancer. White foods like garlic, onions, and mushrooms contain allicin and beta-glucans. These boost immune function and have powerful anti-cancer properties. The IG Cancer Center Research Institute found that people eating white vegetables daily had 34% lower cancer mortality. Purple and blue foods provide anthocyanins and resveratrol. These protect your brain and slow aging at the cellular level. Eggplant, purple cabbage, blueberries. UCLA researchers found that antioxidants can reduce brain aging by up to 2.5 years. Here's what makes this method so powerful. When you eat all 5 colors together, they create synergistic effects. The vitamin C in red peppers helps you absorb iron from green leafy vegetables. The fat from avocados helps you absorb carotenoids from orange foods. It's like a perfectly orchestrated symphony in your body. Japanese centenarians don't count colors obsessively. They simply include a variety at each meal. A typical lunch might have white rice, green seaweed salad, orange miso soup with carrots, purple pickled vegetables, and red tomatoes. Simple, colorful, effective. To maximize benefits, aim for at least one food from each color group daily. Fresh is best, but frozen works, too. The key is variety and consistency, not perfection. Start by adding one new color to meals you already eat. Your body will notice the difference in energy and vitality within days. Now, here's where things get really interesting with the next secret about portion sizes. Number 4, the 80% rule that adds years. Hearthealth. These 3 words might be the most powerful longevity secret ever discovered. It means eating until you're 80% full. And it's practiced religiously in Okinawa, home to the world's longest-lived people. But here's what Western science just figured out. This practice doesn't just prevent overeating. It triggers profound biological changes that slow aging at the cellular level. Dr. Bradley Wilcox, who leads the Okinawa centenarian study, found that people practicing Hearthealth consume about 1,800 to 1,900 calories daily compared to the average American's 2,500 to 3,000. This natural calorie restriction without malnutrition activates longevity genes called sirtuins. These genes regulate cellular health, inflammation, and aging. Studies from Washington University showed that people practicing mild calorie restriction had hearts that looked 15 years younger on scans. Their blood pressure was lower. Their cholesterol was better. Their inflammation markers were practically non-existent. But here's the brilliant part. You don't need to count calories or weight food. The 80% rule naturally creates the perfect caloric deficit for longevity. How do you know when you're 80% full? Japanese doctors teach a simple method. Eat slowly and pay attention to your stomach. When you no longer feel hungry, but could still eat more, stop. You should feel satisfied, but light, not stuffed or heavy. It takes your brain about 20 minutes to register fullness. Most people eat so fast they blow past 80% without realizing it. A study from Kyushu University found that fast eaters were 3 times more likely to be overweight and had double the risk of metabolic syndrome. Here's a practical technique Japanese centurion use. Put your chopsticks or fork down between bites. Chew each bite 20 to 30 times. This sounds excessive, but it works. Your food gets properly broken down for better nutrient absorption. You naturally eat slower. You enjoy flavors more. And you automatically stop at about 80% full because your brain has time to catch up. Another trick is using smaller plates and bowls. The Okinawans use plates that are about 9 in diameter compared to the typical American 12-in plate. Research from Cornell University found that people using smaller plates naturally ate 22% less without feeling deprived. The benefits compound over time. People practicing Hearthealth have 70% lower rates of heart disease, 50% lower rates of cancer, and live an average of 7 years longer than those who regularly overeat. Your energy improves because your body isn't constantly dealing with digestive overload. Your mind stays sharp because blood flow isn't constantly diverted to your stomach. To start, try this for just one meal tomorrow. Eat slowly. Stop when you could eat more but don't need to. Then wait 20 minutes. You'll likely find you're perfectly satisfied. The next secret involves something most people completely avoid but shouldn't. Number 3, the fermentation factor. Every single meal in traditional Japanese cuisine includes fermented foods, and there's a shocking reason why. Dr. Satoshi Sasaki from Tokyo University discovered that Japanese centenarians have gut microbiomes that look completely different from average adults. They have more bacterial diversity, higher levels of beneficial bacteria, and lower levels of inflammatory bacteria. The secret: daily consumption of fermented foods that act like medicine for your gut. Miso, natto, pickled vegetables, fermented fish. These aren't just condiments. They're probiotic powerhouses that reshape your entire internal ecosystem. When researchers analyzed the gut bacteria of 1,000 Japanese centenarians, they found something remarkable. These people had bacterial strains that produce short-chain fatty acids at 3 times the normal rate. These fatty acids reduce inflammation, boost immune function, and protect against cancer. One strain called Lactobacillus pentosus was found in 90% of centenarians, but only 30% of younger adults. Here's what happens when you eat fermented foods daily. The beneficial bacteria colonize your gut and start producing compounds your body can't make on its own. Vitamin K2 for bone health. B vitamins for energy. Neurotransmitters like GABA for mood and sleep. antimicrobial compounds that fight off harmful bacteria. A 20-year study from the National Cancer Center in Tokyo followed 90,000 people. Those who ate fermented soy products daily had 27% lower risk of stroke and 18% lower risk of heart disease. Women who ate natto regularly had 50% lower rates of osteoporosis. But here's what's really mind-blowing. The bacteria in fermented foods communicate with your brain through the vagus nerve. This gut-brain axis affects everything from mood to cognitive function. Japanese researchers found that people eating fermented foods daily had 40% lower rates of depression and anxiety. The key is variety and consistency. Different fermented foods provide different bacterial strains. Miso gives you Aspergillus or natto provides Bacillus subtilis. Pickled vegetables offer Lactobacillus pleurum. Each strain has unique benefits and they work better together than alone. Start small if you're not used to fermented foods. A tablespoon of miso in hot water makes an instant probiotic soup. A small serving of pickled vegetables with lunch. A forkful of sauerkraut with dinner. Your gut needs time to adjust to new bacteria. Gradually increase over a few weeks. Quality matters, too. Look for unpasteurized, naturally fermented products. The pasteurization process kills beneficial bacteria. Many store-bought pickles are just vegetables in vinegar, not true fermented foods. Read labels carefully or make your own. It's easier than you think. Within weeks of adding daily fermented foods, people report better digestion, clearer skin, improved mood, and more stable energy. Your gut bacteria are like a garden. Feed them right, and they'll take care of you for life. Now, we're getting to something even more powerful that you probably do wrong every day. Number 2, the sequence solution. Japanese longevity doctors have identified something so simple yet so powerful that it can reduce blood sugar spikes by 42% and help you live years longer. It's not about what you eat, it's about the order in which you eat it. Dr. Toshima's Takanaga's groundbreaking research at Osaka Prefecture University revealed that eating foods in a specific sequence dramatically changes how your body processes nutrients and manages blood sugar. This isn't some minor effect. We're talking about differences that rival diabetes medications. Here's the sequence that changes everything. Vegetables first, protein second, carbohydrates last. That's it. But the science behind why this works is absolutely fascinating. When you eat vegetables first, the fiber creates a mesh-like coating in your small intestine. This mesh slows down the absorption of sugars and fats that come later. Your blood sugar rises gradually instead of spiking. Your insulin response is controlled instead of chaotic. A study of 2,500 Japanese adults with pre-diabetes found that those who followed this eating sequence reversed their condition in 68% of cases without any other dietary changes. The protein comes second because it triggers the release of GLP-1, a hormone that slows stomach emptying and improves insulin sensitivity. By the time you get to the carbohydrates, your body is primed to handle them efficiently. The rice or bread that would normally cause a blood sugar spike gets absorbed slowly and steadily. Research from Weill Cornell Medical College confirmed these findings in Western populations. People following the vegetable protein carb sequence had 54% lower glucose spikes and 40% lower insulin spikes compared to eating the same foods in random order. This sequence also naturally leads to eating less overall. The fiber from vegetables and the protein creates satiety signals before you get to the carbohydrate portion. Japanese centenarians typically eat about half the amount of rice that younger generations do, not because they restrict it, but because they're already satisfied by the time they get to it. The long-term effects are staggering. Consistent blood sugar control reduces glycation, the process where sugar molecules damage proteins in your body. This is one of the primary drivers of aging. People who maintain stable blood sugar age slower at the cellular level, have better cognitive function, and live significantly longer. Here's how to implement this immediately. At your next meal, eat all your vegetables first, every bite. Then move on to your protein. Finally, enjoy your carbohydrates. Don't mix everything together. Keep them separate and eat in order. It feels weird at first, but becomes natural quickly. Restaurants make this easy. Eat your salad completely before touching anything else. At home, serve vegetables as a first course. Japanese meals naturally follow this pattern with small vegetable dishes called kobaki served before the main course. The Results are almost immediate. People report fewer energy crashes, reduced cravings, and better mental clarity within just 3 days of following this sequence. Over time, it becomes automatic and your body thanks you with stable energy and better health markers across the board. And now the moment you've been waiting for. The number 1 secret that changes absolutely everything. Number 1. The morning ritual that extends life by decades. This is it. The number 1 secret that Japanese doctors credit with adding up to 20 years to lifespan. It's not a supplement. It's not a special food. It's a specific morning ritual that 96% of Japanese centenarians follow religiously. They drink a specific amount of warm water immediately upon waking before eating or drinking anything else. But this isn't just about hydration. Dr. Hiroshi Yamashita's research at Nagoya University revealed that this simple practice triggers a cascade of biological processes that quite literally clean and reset your entire body. Here's exactly what happens. During sleep, your body goes into repair mode. Toxins are processed, cells are rebuilt, and metabolic waste accumulates. When you drink 640 milliliters of warm water first thing in the morning, it flushes all this waste out through your kidneys and intestines. But that's just the beginning. This water intake on an empty stomach activates something called the gastrocolic reflex, stimulating bowel movements and preventing the reabsorption of toxins. It jump-starts your metabolism by up to 24% for the next 90 minutes. It increases blood flow to the brain, improving cognitive function and alertness better than coffee. The temperature matters crucially. Warm water, specifically at body temperature or slightly warmer, gets absorbed faster than cold water. It doesn't shock your system. It gently wakes up your organs and gets everything flowing smoothly. Japanese researchers found that people who drank warm water every morning had 73% lower rates of kidney stones, 61% lower rates of urinary tract infections, and 48% lower rates of constipation. The Nagoya University study followed 5,000 adults for 20 years. Those who consistently practiced this morning water ritual had 37% lower all-cause mortality. They had fewer heart attacks, strokes, and cancer diagnosis. They aged slower and maintained cognitive function longer. The amount matters. Less than 500 milliliters doesn't trigger the full effect. More than 800 ml can be too much for some people. The sweet spot is 640 milliliters, about 2.5 cups, drunk within 5 minutes of waking. Here's the exact protocol. Keep water in a thermos by your bed or heat it first thing. The temperature should be comfortable to drink quickly, not sipping temperature. Drink it all within a few minutes, not slowly over an hour. Then wait 45 minutes before eating breakfast. This gives the water time to work its magic without interference from food. Some people worry about feeling bloated or needing the bathroom frequently. This usually only lasts a few days as your body adjusts. Start with 400 milliliters if needed and work up to 640 over a week. Your bladder capacity actually increases and the frequent urination normalizes quickly. The transformation is remarkable. People report clearer skin within a week. Energy levels improve dramatically. Digestion becomes regular and effortless. Mental fog lifts. Chronic health issues often improve or disappear entirely. One participant in the Nagoya study, a 70-year-old woman with chronic arthritis, reported 90% reduction in joint pain after 3 months of following this protocol. Another participant reversed his pre-diabetes without changing anything else. The Japanese doctors who live past 100 don't see this as optional. It's as essential as breathing. They've been doing it for so long, it's automatic, and now you know their secret. At the end, these 7 secrets work together synergistically. The morning water ritual prepares your body. The eating sequence optimizes nutrient absorption. The fermented foods support your microbiome. The 80% rule prevents overload. The 5 colors provide complete nutrition. The eating window allows cellular repair. The warm foods support digestion. Together, they create a lifestyle that doesn't just add years to your life, but life to your years. The Japanese centenarian doctors still seem patients in their 90s aren't superhuman. They just understand something we're only beginning to grasp. Small, consistent daily practices compound into extraordinary longevity. You don't need expensive supplements or extreme diets. You need these simple, time-tested methods that work with your body's natural processes, not against them. Start with just one secret tomorrow. Add another next week. Within a few months, you'll understand why these doctors say aging is optional. Your body knows how to thrive past 100. You just need to give it the right conditions. And now you know exactly how. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these 7 secrets shocked you the most? And which one are you going to try first thing tomorrow morning? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thanks for watching.